my name is Kimberley Nagy. I'm getting my Bachelor of Kinesiology with a major in Human Kinetics, and I did my fieldwork placement with Astonished.
Astonished is a non-profit organization offering strength-based programming in literacy, socializing, physical activity, and so much more to young adults with complex physical disabilities. At Astonished, most of the work that I did was centered around planning and leading activities for our core members. My special project was called Astonishing Artists, and I instructed the student researchers in using graphite, watercolor, and tissue paper to make art. I chose this project because many of the student researchers are interested in arts, and I wanted to make art more accessible to them. I showed them that anyone can be an artist by adapting the art materials. I started planning Astonishing Artists in the third week of my placement by deciding which art mediums I wanted to introduce and what we could make with them. Next, I looked into how I could adapt these materials to make them more accessible for the people who struggle with fine motor control. I also made PowerPoints for each session to make sure that the information was easy to follow. Each session was about 3 weeks apart, and the first session focused on making gesture drawings with graphite pencils. We also talked about different art mediums, shading, composition, and the importance of trying things out and learning as you go. In the next session, we made watercolor paintings using layering and talked about different forms of watercolor. The final session focused on tissue paper collages and color theory. My Astonishing Artist series was mostly a success. The student researchers enjoyed learning about and creating art, and a few of them even asked where they could buy their own supplies to continue on at home. As I went from session to session, I adapted by adding more check-ins with the people on Zoom, ensuring the mic picked up all my directions, checked for questions on Zoom and in person, and walked around the classroom to provide extra help to ensure that the people joining us through Zoom and the people in person could receive high-quality instruction. If I could change one thing, I would have better explained the difference between watercolor and acrylic paint, or used a different form of watercolor. Watercolor is very different than most people are used to, and I did not do a good job communicating those differences. Using a dry pigment watercolor rather than a liquid watercolor also could have cut down greatly on misunderstandings. The main learning objective that my special project connected to was implementing a recreational program for people with disabilities. I also gained a better understanding of finance and budgeting at Astonished, and gained a further appreciation of the effects of living with a complex physical disability on recreational aspects of people's lives. This project was very valuable to Astonished because it opened the doors for some of the student researchers who had been hesitant to try art. It also provided the organization with some more resources to implement art activities in the future. This project helped the student researchers develop a knowledge on color theory, value, and composition, while also helping to practice with fine motor skills and build confidence in trying new things. To me, the most valuable aspect of this project was gaining an understanding of different ways to adapt to needs. Small things like wider pencils and holding a paper still can be all it takes for an activity to become more inclusive. This project will help my professional career as I have gained more confidence in leading activities, especially in hybrid in-person and online meetings. It has also helped me gain a better understanding of accessibility, and has shown me that the best way to make a program inclusive is by asking the people involved what kind of support they may need.